All right, we're going to continue with our post-race media availabilities for today's 1000bulbs.com 500. We are joined by Greg Zipadelli, the competition director for Stewart-Haas Racing, with the race-winning team, the number 10 Smithfield Bacon for Life Ford. We will open it up to questions for Greg. We'll start on the far
for everybody.
We'll start with Jenna and then go to Jim.
I've investigated this. Nobody won bacon today. It goes till the end of the year.
I will get you bacon.
I'm good, thank you. I've done some investigation, but how did you get these four guys to work together the entire weekend to stay in line like that? Had that last caution not come out, you could have gone 4 wide across the finish line.
That'd have been cool, huh?
Except unless they all wrecked. Yeah. But how, I mean, you know, how did you get that sort of cooperation?
I think after last week, you know, we didn't do a great job executing as a group because we could have had the same results. We just talked a lot about it, and I just looked everybody in the eye and said we need to help each other. We need to work together like team works. We need to show everybody that we are teammates. And I felt like our cars were strong enough that if we did that, we would have a very strong day. I mean, obviously, we came in here with the 10 and the 14 needing stage points. Everybody executed that perfectly. And then, you know, at the end of the race, it was let's do everything we can to help each other. Everybody knew the circumstances. Hats off to drivers and crew chiefs. Nobody was selfish today. Everybody looked out for each other, and that's a great feeling as far as from my perspective. You know, we pay these guys every week, honestly, to be selfish, take care of themselves, run as hard as they can, and finish up as high as they can, win as many races, and everybody gave and take, you know, today. So that was a very proud moment for Stewart-Haas. Man, I don't know. That 41 was strong, and he towed that group pretty fast. So I think they were planning on trying to if we got away and letting them race it out. You know, it just obviously didn't come to that. But couldn't be prouder of that group for executing like they did today and giving and taking and having consideration for their teammates.
We're going to go to Jim and then Jerry and then Bob.
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. Obviously, Eric has come close so many times this season, and I know it's probably been frustrating at times for him. What does it feel like after all of the wild ending that he were to be the one that ends up on top?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know how many of you know Eric. I knew him, but not like I do today. And he's one hell of a kid. He's a class act. He's been a breath of fresh air to our group. He works really hard, listens to other drivers. When he speaks, everybody listens because whatever he says, he feels confident in what he's sharing with our group. So to see those guys have opportunities this year, and for them to keep their chin up and continue to fight all day and end up here in victory lane, locking them into the next round, I couldn't be prouder for him. Johnny with his first win as a crew chief, that's pretty cool.
We'll go to Jerry.
Jerry Jordan kicking the tire setting here, and I want to bounce off of Jenna's question just a little bit. You said you had to sit them down and talk to them and say, hey, we need to go out there as teammates and make this happen. With all your Type A personalities on all those 4 drivers, who's the hardest one to get to play together?
No, honestly, we talked about it this week in our meeting, and we talked about it here after our practice debrief, and it wasn't lecturing. It was, simply let's look at the big picture. It's good for our company to help each other and to have as many cars as we can move to the next round. It's pretty simple. Everybody, honestly, they did a great job. They couldn't have asked any more out of them.
We'll go up front to Bob.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. I have 2, Greg. First off, did you know that the way you had your cars built this weekend, coming into the weekend, that really nobody else had that type of kind of skew and ability to do what you guys did?
Well, I mean, you go back to Daytona 500. We had 4 cars that were capable of winning, and Eric was a half a lap from winning. So you go to, to Talladega here. You go to Daytona. We've had really good cars that run up front. We just have not been able to put it all together. So we've been working on little details. It was, honestly, there's not a lot. The 2 of the cars that were here raced in Talladega in the spring race. and we just fluffed on them. They came out of here with good finishes, and we worked on them, and I think everybody felt like we had good cars. We always have good motors. Doug and his guys do a phenomenal job everywhere, but when it comes to restrictor plates, they really step up to the plate.
And Kurt was kind of hoping for a caution on that last lap when that wreck happened. I was curious, when you're watching it and you see them crash in the back, are you like, throw the caution because you know that your car would probably win, or are you like, let's play it out, I want to see how it does?
No, I mean, honestly, I didn't really see the replay. I just knew they wrecked and was expecting to hear the caution, and never did. But, we've been in that situation before where one of our cars didn't win. Me as a parent, you love all your kids. I got 4 of them that I have to love and care for. So I'm proud that we were in the situation that we were and somebody else capitalized on it. Usually in the past, other people have capitalized on situations like that with us. So, Eric and Johnny, it's been a long time coming. They've had a few opportunities this year that were really strong, and things just didn't go right at the end. So finally it came around to them, and couldn't be happier.
Go to Matt.
Matt Weaver for Auto Week. This is for Greg. I think this was Jerry's question too, to a degree. But do you have the meeting with just the crew chiefs and then they relay the information to the drivers? Or do you have like a big powwow with everyone involved?
No, we just have our regular competition meetings on Tuesday where we all sit in a room and we talk about our weekend and we talk about the next weekend, and then we have a debrief after practice where we're all crew chiefs, drivers, and myself are in there, and engineers, and we just talk about our cars and what everybody's going to do, and no different than I think anybody else in the sport. So it wasn't there was nothing special. It was just simply let's work together, and they did, and I think they all saw the strength of them working together.
Come over here to the left.
Kaylee Cicero, the Prowler, Stars Mill High School. I checked the stats, and 2005 was the last time that a Ford team with 4 more cars had all of their drivers win in the same season. So what does that say about Stewart-Haas's team this year?
I think that says we've got 4 good drivers, 4 good crew chiefs, and great manufacturing from their backing, and near 400 employees that come in and work hard every day. I mean, honestly, that's all it is. We've got really good people that have a lot of heart and passion. We've got a lot of racers that show up before they're supposed to at 7 o'clock and never leave before 4. And they don't need to be asked to stay to get that little bit extra done.
All right, Zippy, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Now I'll let you go. Yeah, we got this one for you.
Johnny's on the hot seat.
We are now joined by the crew chief of the race-winning team, the number 10 Smithfield Bacon for Life Ford, Johnny Klausmeier. We will open it up to questions. Please raise your hand. We will get a wireless mic to you. Start here in the front with Bob.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. Could you tell in your meetings this week that Eric had put Dover behind him, or had he not put it behind him? And were you concerned at all today that he was still maybe having kind of a hangover from that race?
No, I knew right away that he had put it behind him. He gets the first thing about Eric, he's putting so much work into. I mean, when he comes to the competition meetings, they start at 10 o'clock, and he's there 2 hours early, and he hangs out in my office, and we talk about the upcoming week just one-on-one, and I knew he was over it. It was tough for us both to swallow, but we talked about Talladega and how it was going to play out and what we needed to do for points. And, the complicated situation with points is we were racing teammates, and we also needed to work with those people when we got here to the track. So it was a precarious position that we were in, but, it went really well. All of our teams worked well all race long, and we were able to capitalize at the end. And our goal was just to store as much stage points as we could, and we were able to do that, and working with our teammates. Then at the end, they ran out of fuel, and we were able to get the victory and go to the next round, and it was quite the redemption for last week.
Additional questions for Johnny? We'll go to Zach, right here in the middle.
Zach Albert, NASCAR.com. Johnny, the way you guys work together, teamwork out there on the race, it seemed like every time there was a restart, within half a lap, maybe you guys were in line 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Was that the game plan going in to try to do that as much as you can? And did it work even better than you guys expected it might?
Yeah, it definitely worked better than we expected. You can't control how you're going to come out of the pits or what strategies or where you're going to line up, but we had a plan for the beginning of the race, and it just so happened that all of our cars started 1 through 4, and we just kind of kept that plan throughout the whole race. And we were in various positions, and at times, Eric was getting a little bit nervous about how many stage points he was giving up by playing the team card. But at the end of the day, it all worked out, and it was fine.
Anything final for Johnny? All right, Johnny, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.